everyone. You are welcome to the Exceptional Professionals. My name is Ayokunu Akintayo, and on this project, I have the task of meeting up with professionals in various fields to get professional perspectives on the broad topic of inclusion and diversity. And so today, my net has caught a very, very big fish in the city of Abuja, Nigeria.
The one and only tech mental health advocate.
Do you know what that means? You're about to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Mr. Mayowa Ajala. You're welcome.
Well, it's really an honor to be found worthy of this meeting.
Humanity is more than honored to have you, and the entire disability community is grateful for your presence. Let's meet you. We want to meet you. What do you do, and why do you do what you do?
Thank you very much. My name is Mayowa Ajala Felix. I go by the nickname AMF, and the AMF that I go by is actually the first letters of my surname, my first name, and my middle name, Ajala Mayowa Felix. So currently, I'm a software and mobile app developer, and I'm an IT specialist. I work in the IT sector, while also I have deep interest in mental health and psychology. So as it stands, apart from my IT profession, I am also a mental health advocate, and by the virtue of my profession, which is IT, so I'm working on merging the worlds of mental health, psychology, and technology together. So what drove my interest in mental health majorly is from a personal experience. So I suffered from series of mental health conditions growing up, and at some certain stages of my life. Then after going through all that, I told myself that people don't have to go through what I have gone through. So I'm making efforts to let people be aware that these things happen. I'm not just creating awareness, I'm also working on creating affordable solutions, easy solutions to deal and overcome these conditions. So to me, it is very personal. Me being in mental health is personal because I've been there, so I understand how some of these things work. And since I've been there, I know how it feels, and I know how painful, how uncomfortable some of these things could be. So I took it upon myself that yes, for me to pass through this process and I suffered this particular experience, then I'm going to make it a self-ambition to let people know that this and this and this is what could happen, so that people don't fall into the same thing. So it's personal to me, and it's from my personal experience that's the drive to make a change and to also help people live better. Everything we do as humans, one way or the other, is tied to our mental health. If I'm not in a good mood, I probably would have given you an excuse that I'm sorry, they want to kill me with work in the office, I'm depressed, or I have come up with any mental health excuse at the moment. So since everything that we do as humans revolve around our mental health, so it's something that we really need to take up as important as possible. Thank you very much.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. You know, it takes a lot of courage to come out and say, okay, I've experienced this, and I don't want any other person to experience this. So it's really amazing what you do. So can you tell us about Firebase? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Firebase. You got it right. So I just didn't want to, like I said, I just didn't want to create awareness. I just didn't want to talk about mental health and solutions. You know, I wanted to get actively involved in mental health and solutions. And by the virtue of what I do, so it's kind of easier for me to integrate tech into mental health. So it will be like, so I'm integrating tech into mental health. Exactly. So, which is kind of a not so popular approach. I know there are several mental health solutions and practices out there, but a few of them actually infuse technology. So, which is what I am coming up with, and that is what led to the vision of Firebase. That this goes beyond me. Just like I said earlier, I don't want people to suffer what I've suffered. So, in a way to reach more people, that is what led to the founding of Firebase. Firebase is a mental health tech company. So we're still coming up. Apparently, the vision is there, the mission is there, and by God's grace, we'll be able to achieve the goals and objectives of starting Firebase.
When you say tech, it sounds very, very big, and it is very good. You tied
yes.
it mental health. So now what you are coming up with, is it coming in form of an app, a counseling session online? What can you dive more into that part?
One thing I've discovered in my years of experience working as a software developer is solutions come in different formats, in different levels. Some solutions could be sophisticated and some could be simple. But in as much as what powers the solution is tech, then it is a tech solution, irrespective of how simple it is, even if you are modifying an existing solution. But in as much as what fuels that solution is tech. So exactly. So now because we are living in a digital world now, and almost everyone has access to like a mobile device, an iPad, or a laptop. So the order of the plans we have is for us to roll out digital solutions in form of websites, in form of mobile applications, in form of hardwares and all that. In fact, there's actually a plan to move to physical products. But we don't want to bite beyond what we can chew at the moment. So we want to start with what we have. We start with digital solutions. We could even redefine how counseling is being done. I know some people are doing it already. You don't have to leave your house to attend a counseling session. With your mobile device, with your phone, with your laptop, you can get your proper counseling done. Now, that is being powered by technology. Instead of people having to leave their homes to visit counselors and all that, solutions are digital for now. But as time goes on, in as much as these solutions will be powered by technology, they still remain tech solutions. So we are starting with digital solutions first. Mobile apps, websites. There was something we did early this year. If you check our website, firebase.com, so there was something we did. We created a mental health plan worksheet for the year 2025, and it is in form of a web app. What it does is we're able to collect a data about you. We didn't even realize what we were doing until people started using it, and it drew people's attention to things they never even paid attention to in the first place. So impact does not always have to come like an earthquake, boom. It could be little, right? It could be little, it could come in drops. But in as much as it is working, it is making impact and changes. So that's just an example of a digital solution. Okay. As simple as it could be, it's still a solution to the mental health issues that people deal with. Let me give you a short example. The mental health worksheet that we developed, there's a section that asks you, who are your go-to people in terms of mental health crisis? It is at that point that some people knew that they never had anybody in mind. Do you understand? As simple as it is. As simple as it is.
Simple.
People even think that, yes, I have friends, but do you have people that you can actually gone to, people that you can go to meet, that you can open your heart to and tell them exactly what is happening? There's a section that we also ask people if they had people that they've gone to before. A lot of them feel empty, because they didn't have anybody. You may have friends, but the friendship may not be as cordial, as deep as opening up your mental health challenges. Do you understand?
Yes,
so
sir.
There's this moment of reflection that people had. Wait, it is true. So if to say I won't kill myself now, who can I even call? Do you understand? So like I said, solution doesn't have to come like earthquake. It could just be something as simple as that could make you reflect that, okay, I think I need to improve on my relationship with people, on my life. This life is not meant to be lived alone or by myself. So I don't want to like go too
Okay.
much on that, but
I'm
that's just
very,
an,
I'm
an
very sure
example.
this is enough to catch everybody's attention to draw
Attention.
them to firebase.com.
.com, yes.
Go fill your own mental health plan. I saw your TikTok video where you said they've been planning, they're making financial plan, you're making
Plans.
money making plans, but you're not making mental health plan. It's very
Plans, yes.
so go to firebase.com now. It's FAYABASE.com.
SE, yeah, .com, yes.
Right now. So moving on, sir, how can technology be leveraged to create a more inclusive and supportive work environment? Now, in the workplace,
Yes.
mental health of workers, of the employees, how can we use technology to make the workplace more inclusive?
When we talk about inclusivity, we're talking about carrying everybody along, right? Everyone should be able to do almost the same thing. You can't say because a very tall person and you happen to place the wash hand basin like very, very high in such a way that someone who is not of the same height as me is not able to use the wash hand basin. Are we together? So now inclusivity. Exactly. So now inclusivity is placing that basin at a particular height that both tall and not so tall people can have access to the wash hand basin. That is inclusivity, so that everybody can be carried along. Imagine I have climbing something before I could wash my hand, or I have to bend so low. So now, to be honest with ourselves, the way things have been done, especially in a country like Nigeria, inclusivity is not really given a top priority. How tech can be leveraged to create more inclusive and supportive work environment. Like I said earlier, solutions come in levels. They come in levels. Some may be simple, some may be sophisticated. There's this thing called hybrid work models, where you don't have to come to the office all the time, right? In as much as I can get the work done, I mean, I can actually work from home. We used to say things like work from home, but it is not every company that actually incorporate that. Now, where does the tech part comes in? I can be in my house, just the way you and I, we are thousands of kilometers apart, but we are still able to communicate. So we using Zoom for this meeting is tech.
Yes, sir.
If I happen to assign a duty, a task for you to do, and I need feedback, you can chat me up on WhatsApp, or if I need you to speak, if I need to see your face, I can use Zoom. That is tech. Somebody who is impaired, when it comes to mobility, the pressure of moving up and down is reduced for the person, in as much as the person can get the work done even while at home. So we have all this tech all around us. Sometimes the issue is not even with the tech, it's about we making use of them. Now, that is one. I was telling you that I was getting to see some features on Zoom because I haven't used Zoom in a while. Many of these software, they are coming up with consideration, with inclusivity. Somebody who is impaired, like the person somebody that can't hear very well. There is these captions that you get to see on Google Meet, on Zoom, that even if you can't hear me, you can see what I'm saying being captioned, being transcribed on the screen. That is inclusivity. Like people who can't hear, they are being included in the plan. Now, these are ways to which they can actually, we can use tech to include people and all that. They also have these things called speech to text software. There's quite a number of them. If you have to record a minute and probably I can't write very well, sometimes when we're in a meeting, it is the work of the secretary to take notes, right?
Yes, sir.
What if the secretary has a disability condition, right? With speech to text software, it is easy. The software simply converts what people are discussing in the meeting into text, which is way easier for the person taking notes, irrespective of his level of ability, to get the content of the meeting and all that. So if we should start diving into available text, there's quite a whole lot of them.
They are available,
but it's just we making use of them. In fact, it's not even about like I said, it's not really about the tech. It starts from people's mindset. If you don't have it in mind to have an inclusive and supportive work environment, your mind may never go to all these available techs. They are there. They've been there. I probably wouldn't have known that there's a caption section, if not because I look for it, right? Because I knew that something like this may come up in our discussion. So because I saw the need for it, it was easier for me to get an existing solution.
Yes,
that Nigeria is quite backward, when it comes to inclusivity, and we don't have enough policies that mandate people. The way they will mandate every employee, every workers to be paying tax. There should be a way that people with disabilities are also factored in. They are also considered by making policies that protect them and put them in the minds of every offices and workspaces. So there are just different ways that you can leverage technology. There are lots.
Yeah.
There are lots. There are some offices that you access the doors with voice activations. Do you understand? I mean, that what I said. Solutions come at different levels.
Yes,
that's just the truth. So it just depends on how deep we want to go to as individuals.
Technology. Yeah.
There's some software that in workplaces, if you are given a task, the task is given on that software. If you are submitting the task, the submission takes place on the software.
On the same software.
So that way, nobody is going to lie. Nobody is going to tell you you're not good enough, because your work is clear.
It's being tracked.
What you've done is being tracked. So these are ways. There is discrimination. Just because somebody is disabled, some people already have this mindset of incompetence, that this person can't just do this work. And that already forms a mindset and a preconceived notion in such a way that whatever the person does, they don't see the quality of what the person is delivering, just because you had a preconceived notion of the person. So because I can't speak very well, because I'm probably visually impaired, does not mean I still can't get some things done. Yes. And that is why anything that has to do with human beings, there's always this level of bias. And tech actually has a way of reducing, if not completely, reducing the impact of personal biases that people have on the disabled person. So I think I'll just stop there on that.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That was awesome. So what are the strategies you can share that you think organizations can implement to promote mental wellness and accessibility to employees with disabilities or mental conditions?
I have worked in several organizations, and one thing I do is every experience I have with people I work with, I document them, whether they are pleasant or whether they are not pleasant. And when you are building solutions, you build solutions to solve relatable problems. Are you getting me? So if I work in a place and I'm not being included, I pen it down. So I look for a way, okay, how do I solve this solution? It's not just about me. If this is happening to me, then believe that it is happening to thousands and millions of people somewhere else.
And it's definitely, it's probably not going to stop.
Exactly, until somebody provide solutions to this. Now, let's go to the strategies. The very first strategy that I think is, when we talk about promoting mental wellness and accessibility for employees with disabilities, there should be a good work culture in every organization that does not discriminate. The way an organization works is, if I'm joining an organization, trust me, I'm going to flow and blend with what I happen to meet. So if I met you guys discriminating, there's every tendency that I will continue with you guys in your discrimination, right? If I happen to join an organization where people with disabilities are considered, mental health is promoted, I don't have any choice than to flow with what I happen to meet on ground. That is just the reality of things. Now, once it is a stated rule, once there is a good work culture where people are well informed, that this is how we do things in this company, trust me, any step or any action anybody is taking, they will take it with the company's policy in mind.
Yes,
Are we
sir.
together?
Yes,
so
sir.
If the company does not have a well-structured policy that includes all employees, that makes things accessible for employees with disabilities, then it's not going to work, because nothing is stopping me from putting the washing basin at the ceiling. If I put it at the ceiling, there's no document that say that I must consider you. But once the policy is there, then people can be held accountable.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I will talk about people being innovative. Innovation is dynamic, right? Is dynamic. I may prefer a solution to this problem. You may prefer a different solution to the same problem.
Yes, sir.
Your solution may not work where I work. I honestly feel like people should be innovative enough, to look at their environment, because some solutions are secluded to a particular environment. So people should look out for the environment, for their immediate environment, and see what they can do better, to make things easier. Let me give you an instance. To some hospitals, apart from the staircase, right?
Yes,
you will
sir.
see this smooth.
Yes, the wheelchair ramp.
Exactly. That is inclusivity. That is accessibility. So because I can't climb the stair, shouldn't deny me
access into the building
to the hospital. Do you understand? So that I said, this comes in different ways. If my office cannot afford maybe a card system to open the door, they should get somebody that will stand by the door to open the door for everybody. Do you understand? So yes. Because my hand cannot reach, or because I cannot pull the door, shouldn't deny me entrance. Well, moving on. Since we are in the era of technologies, companies should provide assistive technologies. There are lots of them. We have what is called screen readers. I talk about speech-to-text software. There are some hearing aid devices that help people to grab things faster. Organizations should also consider counseling. We don't do counseling enough in Nigeria, except the person is about to kill himself. Just like how people treat CCTV. People just put CCTV there. They will only go and check when something has been done, when the goods have been stolen. So if we really want to promote mental awareness, there should be counseling services available for every staff. And there's something about counseling. There is this reassurance that you get after being counseled. It works. There are times when we usually doubt ourselves, and we just need somebody to just like reaffirm and reassure us that yes, we are doing well, and no matter what we are passing through is going to be a past tense. Apart from that, organizations should consider physical mental health activities. It could be something like a get-together, yoga classes, something that will allow people to come together and loosen up. It works. There are a lot of things that I'm not able to tell you, because your eyes are always high in the office. But because we are in a non-official environment,
non-formal environment,
so I'll be able to relate with you better. In fact, I may not even know that you are good at cracking jokes, not until we get to that particular occasion or event. Of course, you can't crack joke in the office. I mean, you can't crack joke like in the office, because you have to comport yourself.
Yes,
but if we're in a non-formal environment, people can free themselves. I can get to know more about you. I can get to know that you even do more than what I see you do in the office. Lastly, I will just say that in organizations, work arrangements for employees with disabilities should be flexible. That was why I talk about the hybrid work format. It is not, if not for Nigeria, that your guy wants to see your face. It's not about my face. It's about me getting what you want to get done, and getting it done very well. So if we are going to, people with disabilities, they don't have the same level of abilities with us, apparently, and that is where the policy and we knowing this fact comes into play. But we are trying to do things in a way that it includes everyone, whether you have disabilities or not. And that is why this study of the wash hand basin is actually a perfect example.
Yes,
The wash
sir.
hand basin should be placed in a way at a particular height that whether you are tall or you are not too tall, everyone has access
To
to
it.
the wash hand basin.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for the beautiful response to the questions. Now we want to know success story at Firebase and how it has positively impacted the mental health outcomes in the workplace.
For people that have worked in an official environment before, they know how this works. That at the beginning of every year, there's usually this general meeting where the management and the staff they come together. They kind of do like an appraisal, ask questions. How was last year? So there's usually this section that I find very funny. I find very political and deceptive. And it is that section, that point where they ask the staffs about their like senior colleagues, right? And they will say, oh, meet your manager one. You guys, what can you say about your manager one?
In the presence of the manager one.
Exactly, because it's a general meeting. At that point, nobody will speak the truth. Everybody was, he's a nice man. He's our mommy, he's our daddy. I mean, and this happens everywhere. Because I myself, I will gently follow suit. I wouldn't want to be in the bad book of manager one. So if everybody is praising him, I have to join the bandwagon. But we are all political. That's why I call it political and deceptive. Yeah. Do you understand? If the like owner of the company, let's say the MD or the CEO, ask you guys, oh, this thing that your manager is doing, is it okay? You say yes, it is okay. Now, I experienced this firsthand. In fact, there are times when your senior colleagues, the people in charge, they are making bad decisions that could lead to the company getting bankrupt, like that could be so disastrous. But you dare not report them because you don't have access to the owners of the company directly. You still have to pass through these people. So how can you report me to me? It doesn't work. Do you understand? Like I'm telling you live scenarios. Now, there is something we came up with. It's still in the pipeline, but we have been testing it. We are creating a space where people can say their minds without any fear of somebody targeting you. I mean, I'm the owner of the company. I need to know exactly what is going on. Do you understand? If somebody is destroying my company and there is no efficient channel of communication, I won't know on time until that person has brought down the company. And at that point, everybody loses their job. Both all over that are lied and were praising manager A for being a good manager. This happens in workplaces. Or let's say a particular boss is molesting a staff or is witch hunting a staff. But you can't complain. And the reason why most people go to work is just because of the pay. Some people don't derive joy in what they do. They don't derive joy with the people they work with. But what do they do? Getting job these days is not easy. So people just stick to whatever treatment they are getting. And okay, so I experienced this firsthand. I saw it happen to me. I also did it too. I also joined the bandwagon to praise someone who is not doing well. It's just of recent that I pick interest in workplace psychology, workplace mental health. Before, I've been so much particular about individuals and all that. So we are working on creating a space, a safe space, where the manager can get, the CEO, the MD, the staff can say their minds. There's way this thing works, that the fact that you can't say your mind is making you angry. Yes. It's making you sad. Like you see things going wrong, but you can't talk. Let's say in a church, gathering of brothers and sisters, there's this particular brother that jumps from one sister to the other, and the person has come to me, he has used me too, and leave me and jump to another person. And I will still see this person jumping, but I can't talk because before people will start looking at me like, so you too, he has been to your side too. So I rather let him continue to disturb people's life while I watch. So there's actually a need for a space where people can express themselves. You know, people need to know exactly what is happening and how they feel. And there's this peace of mind that comes from the fact that you are in a space where you can freely express yourself. It's not just doing you good, it's doing good to everybody. When you are thinking of a solution, you also think of the possibility of it being misused. So now if it happens that somebody lies on me that I'm diverting the company's money, it opens a door for investigation.
Yes.
So you investigate. So it is either true or false. So I mean, that's what we have in the pipeline apparently. You know, we've not
Is it going
tested
to be
it yet.
anonymous?
Definitely, that's the beauty of it.
Beautiful.
That's the beauty of it. Yes, it's a safe space. Like nobody knows
Who
is
said
talking.
what? Yeah.
Exactly. So that I said, even if somebody should lie on you, the lie only opens door for investigation. If you claim that what this person said is a lie, then let's investigate and confirm if it is true. But if 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people are saying the same thing, they know that there is a very high possibility that what they are saying is true.
Yes.
So in any gathering, in any organization, there is a need for a safe space. Most people know that whatever they do can be expressed by somebody else. They will even caution themselves.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes,
you see, people tend to behave well where there is CCTV, whether it is working or not.
Or not.
But just because that CCTV is there, people
the
control
presence
themselves.
of the camera.
That is just the way a lot of this works. So because I know that there is a space in my workplace where people can say what is happening the way it is without fear, people will tend to behave themselves and even do more of the right things. Not yet public, but we say that it is really going to change the dynamics.
Yeah, that's a beautiful plan. It's a beautiful
workplace mental health. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
Sir. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I'm going to ask you this final question before we go, sir. There are many mental health advocates. There are many professionals in the field of technology. And there are so many people who have some have even had it worse than your experience that led you to do this. So now, what would you say makes you exceptional from the rest, from every other professional in your field? What makes you different? What makes you exceptional?
What I think makes me exceptional is because, to an extent, I have a first-hand experiences, with a lot of these issues. So like, not be say person. It's not like somebody told me. I've been there. I know how it feels. That's one. Then number two, before I started taking counseling serious, people open up to me a lot. People talk to me a lot. People tell me that their deep secrets, and they do that because they know whatever they tell me is not going to be exposed. And that is where, that's a level of anonymity, because they know that whatever they tell me stays with me. So now imagine and I can't attend to everybody in the world. There was a time when I was single, I had to switch off my phone, because every time I come online, I will get people that want to talk to me, want to share things with me. I also have my own problems too. Do you understand? So I can't attend to everybody in the world. So why not create something, a solution, that whether I am there or not, you still get solution, to a large extent, to your problem. So many of the ideas I have, they come from the experiences, myself with people, or the one I saw, people experience. There's something I call it virtual experience. I don't know if that word actually exists, but we know what virtual means and we know what experience means. So my own definition of it is something that happened. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to somebody very close to me, or it happened before my very eye. Do you understand? If somebody happens to get shot, it's not me that got shot, but I saw how it happened. That okay, if they shoot person, blood will come out. You don't have to shoot me before I will tell you that if they shoot you, blood will come out. So that is a virtual experience. So because I kind of read a lot, people tell me their stories. As a counselor, I'm a counselor too. I do that unofficially. I always tell people that I don't have to experience all the bad things in the world before I can counsel you. Do you understand? I don't have to be that thing before I can talk about it. That is where learning from people comes in. That is where reading comes in. So I have a lot of virtual experiences from people's stories, from people opening up to me. Let me give you this funny instance. Anytime I'm counseling my young girls, my sisters and friends about relationship, I'm not a player, but I need to understand how a player behaves for me to counsel you against a player. Do you understand? Now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people have told me how they got played. So now I have like 7 experiences of how players play. So I don't have to be the one that is doing the playing before I understand how playing happens. So that is what I call virtual experience. So I believe I have quite a number of that experience. Like I have quite a number of them, and it helped me in my decision making. Another thing that I think makes me kind of different is because I am directly involved in creating the solution. It's not as if I'm telling somebody to do. Some people have money, they just employ developers, employ software people and all that. But yes, maybe because I don't have the money yet, it could be. But even if I get to a stage where I don't get directly involved, but I know what needs to be done. Do you understand? Just like somebody buying a car, you have the money to buy the car, but you don't know how the car was made. So even though you could buy the car, there's a limit to what you can do on the car. Do you understand? So even if I'm not the one building the solutions, I'm a technical person. I know what needs to be done. So this is also one thing that I think sets me apart and makes me different. Another thing is, I'm not money driven. I've been building Firebase like little by little. It's not easy because I have bills to pay to, I have donations to make, I have other places I volunteer as well. I have different responsibilities. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I work somewhere for daily bread. I still have to build this. So I'm not really like money driven. I'm just particular about the solutions, the impact, seeing people being free, seeing people onboarding their mind, seeing people get better mentally. It gives me joy, honestly. And I think it's something that I feel like it is worth diving into. I'm not doing this for the money. Money may come from it, but that was never the motivation behind it. If it's about money, I probably would have, done some things, asked people to pay for it and all that. But for now, it's just all about making impact and seeing people doing better mentally. Like everything we do comes from our mental. They call it medulla oblongata in biology. It comes from your mental state of mind. So if this is messed up, everything that comes after will be messed up as well. So those are things that I think make me different from other specialists and professionals in any of these fields. And I think as it stands, I am yet to meet a mental health tech person, like somebody that does both at the same time. So is that the person is a tech person or a mental health person? So I know they will definitely exist. So, but I'm yet to meet one in particular.
You the first of many, and even if there are many others, you are the first on this show. And I'm very sure you are the first that many of our audience are getting to know as a tech mental health advocate. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the beautiful submission. Thank you for your time. All that you have said today is a great addition to this community, and we are glad that we had the honor of hosting you, sir. Thank you so much. Do you have any final thoughts to share before we leave?
Well, I want to appreciate the efforts Ms. Duduyemi has been putting into this, and these are the impacts we talk about. Impact does not always have to come like an earthquake, no matter how little, how simple it seems. So far we are touching lives, we are making impact. That is what really matters. So thank you very much for taking out your time, your resources to do this. And thank you for finding me worthy to be on this call with you. I feel so honored. It is really good to meet people making efforts to make changes. And it makes you feel like, yes, you are not alone. Even when you want to like get tired, because there's that phase where you want to like get tired, you feel like, man, this is overwhelming. But seeing people like you like gives people hope that yes, if this person can do it, then I can also try and also improve and like overcome whatever challenges and obstacle that may come that may stand before us. So I'm really honored. Thank you for being a sort of encouragement for many people like you, like me, like us, that are making effort to make impacts in the world. Thank you so much. That is what I have to say for now.
Thank you so much. So viewers, thank you so much for coming to this episode of The Exceptional Professional. We hope to see you next time. My name is Ayokunu and I'm signing out now. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, sir.